Hello, everybody. John Blank, Zacks Chief Equity Strategist and Economist, and today is July the 28th, 2025. I'm going to go through cybersecurity stocks today. They are a critical info tech group. There's no one, including you or me, that does not have cybersecurity issues or concerns, and there has been an entire infotech industry built around this concern. So part one, we'll do some tables and charts going out and laying out the cybersecurity industry narrative. Part two, we'll get into the top industry stocks and their fundamentals. And we'll look through four style classes, from mega cap to large cap to mid cap to small cap. And we're going to find out, very interestingly, that the entire trade in this infosec sector is bull trade on large cap, but not small cap. In fact, the small cap's been shorted for 4 or 5 years. That is fascinating, and we will get into that. So first off, remember, this is my views. I do have a PhD from MIT in economics, and they are not necessarily the views of Zacks Investment Research. Read the rest at your leisure. So let's get going. Like I said, first thing we're going to do is the tables and charts that are going to lay out the cybersecurity industry narrative for you. This is useful information. And the first place we need to start is discussing hackers. Hackers and hacking are at the heart of cybersecurity. People hack into computers. So first off, people do it what's called white hat hacking. White hat hacking. This is known as ethical hacking. This involves legally breaking into systems or networks to test and improve the security. It's done with permission from the system owner. Okay, so white hat hacking, is quality control basically, and security control. And our own computer system experts will do white hat hacking for us. But they are there for one reason and one reason only: to stop the next level, which is called black hat hacking. So if you're wearing a black hat, you're obviously the bad guy. That's unethical hacking, and this is what cybersecurity is all about. Black hat hackers are individuals who break into systems with malicious intent, often for personal gain, profit, or sabotage. So the middle ground, interestingly enough, is called a gray hat hacker. Gray hat hackers are between white and black hats. They have the ability to hack without permission, but do not have malicious intent. They just want to disclose vulnerabilities responsibly. So they might be just reporting or exploiting things just to show things to the public, maybe, that, how things work, what the issues are. Think of it as kind of the journalism, test, where you're neither the government or the market. You're just out there trying to show everybody how the system works. That's called gray hat hacking. You don't have malicious intent. So different types of cybersecurity. There's lots of different security issues. Got two full charts and tables on this existing issue. So down here we have types of cybersecurity: network security, information security, endpoint security, the end user device like your PC, my laptop, my smartphone, application security, the software that's secure, cloud security, so the cloud stored data and workloads are free from cyber threats, IoT security, Internet of Things security, so interconnected devices like cameras, sensors, and wearables, that's security. So it just goes on and on about what you can get involved with here: blocking malware, controlling data access, monitoring endpoint behavior, encrypting cloud data, blocking unauthorized control, and so on and so forth. And also over here, you're going to see the first sign of something we need to discuss, which is lots of acronyms in this space. It's a computer space, so we're going to have to discuss, how to unwind the acronyms so we understand this better. Web application firewall, Exhibit A. Data loss prevention, DLP, Exhibit B. Endpoint detection response, EDR, Exhibit C. Internet protocol, IP, intrusion detection system, IDS. Denial of service, DOS. It just goes on and on and on. So this is part of what gets us all glazy-eyed is just the sheer amount of acronyms that are involved in this type of business. So number level 2 of even more types of cybersecurity: operational security, safeguarding workflows and strategic decisions, identity and access management, ticker IAM, manages who has access to what resources in an organization, inside an organization. Mobile security, smartphones, tablet threats, disaster recovery, quick recovery and a continuity after attacks, critical security on infrastructure, public systems like electricity, transportation, cyber threat intelligence, collecting threat data to enhance protection. Again, all the way over here, once again, we're going to get lots of functionality and applications for these different types of cybersecurity functions. Just an amazing amount of stuff that we all have to understand has to be done because we use infotech systems. So over here on the left, I have the evolution of the cybersecurity industry from 1960 to 2025. And over here on the right, I've got a list of cybersecurity stocks from megacap to large cap to mid cap to small cap. I will point out here, Absolute Software ticker is that's actually Abbott Labs, and what we were talking about is ABST, Absolute Software Corporation, which was bought in 2023 and has been acquired by Crosspoint Partners and no longer exists. So the big mega caps are just two, Cisco and ServiceNow. The large caps, you've heard a lot of these names before: Palo Alto Networks, CrowdStrike, Fortinet, Cloudflare, Zscaler, VeriSign, Checkpoint, CyberArk, Okta, Akamai, all F5 networks. You've heard of all these names. Down here, you probably have it. I've traded some of Qualys, and surprisingly, BlackBerry is still out there, the mid cap. Rapid7, we're going to talk about today. Radware, Mitek Systems, I've heard about and seen people trade. So over here, you've got basically the entire story of the foundational period, the emergence of the internet, the growth of commercial malicious activity in the 2000s, the advanced threat era, which is the 2010s, AI and ransomware age, the 2020s, and a future outlook 2025. We're out in quantum threat preparation. Here in this area, it's ransomware as a service, people actually having software that they literally sell to people to just do ransoms. But back in the early days, it was about e-commerce and organized cybercrime. It's just an amazing story of all the different threats here, from email viruses to phishing to botnets, data breaches, ransomware, AI-powered attacks, quantum decryption. Really interesting to understand all this stuff and get the names right. And that's why we're doing this discussion today. Okay, note, Zacks analysts show you a table at the bottom. These are the needed industry acronym explanations. I explained this earlier. You're going to see all kinds of stuff up here: CSPM, CWPP, CNAPP. Those are cloud security posture management, cloud workload protection platform, and cloud native application protection platform for just cloud security. So this is going to give you our focus on cybersecurity insights, and these are the types of terms, and this is the table that's going to give you an idea of how to understand all the things. I mean, just look at the focus area, just to keep it very simple. Cloud security is now a big thing. Artificial intelligence in cybersecurity, which we can either use it in a black hat way or in a white hat way, adversarial via deepfakes and AI generated phishing, or of course black hat, but threat hunting with AI. Automated incident response with AI, anomaly detection with AI. There's also white hat with AI. And then over here, we've got ransomware as a service. This is insurance pressure and target attacks on critical infrastructure. This stuff is real serious for particularly like electric groups. I think Spain has basically been in a cyber attack on their power systems quite recently. So down here, we're going to get into the crypto world and the quantum world as well. All right, so once again, more discussions of more types of threats. I'm going to talk about two big ones. Distributed denial of service attacks are when multiple online devices known as a botnet are used to overwhelm a website with fake traffic. So you get a botnet and you just overwhelm a target website with fake traffic. Distributed denial of service. So that's a DDoS attack, and it's used in, for example, Amazon Web Services faced denial of service attack in February 2020. You can imagine what happened when that Amazon had an issue like this. Man in the middle. This is another one to know about. Attack was where the malicious actor intercepts and alters communications between two parties who believe they are communicating directly with each other. Man in the middle. Equifax breach, right? They had people's credit data and they jumped in the middle, intercepting traffic and stealing data from 147 million people. Phishing attacks or fraudulent emails. Google and Facebook had to pay over $100 million or lost over $100 million from the fake supplier. Whale phishing, spear phishing, ransomware. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it's all worth looking through and understanding better. Still more cybersecurity jargon. I just want to point out here one that is probably AI specific called the large language model. This is when a lot of AI that we're seeing is being basically trained on massive text data sets that are out of the internet and generating human language. That's what ChatGPT does. It's basically looking around the internet and pulling together text from various parts of the internet and putting a story together for you. That's really all it is. So just, again, one of the things to do here is just stop, look at this large language model, and you can understand that's really what ChatGPT is. I mean, it's not really artificial intelligence in the sense of actually being intelligent. It's using the intelligence of humans that are out posting on the internet in the public space. And of course, there's cybersecurity with this type of thing. So one of the groups that handles this at the federal level is called the National Institute for Standards and Technology, NIST. And this is their model for cybersecurity framework. So first of all, you want to identify the assets that are managed, the business environment, and the governance, and come up with your risk management strategy and a risk assessment. That's the first level. You want to detect anomalies and processes and continuously monitor it. You want to protect with data security, maintenance, awareness and training. We do a lot of that at Zacks. We constantly get trained on the next level of cybersecurity and things that are attacking us. Improvements, analysis, mitigation, and over here, recovery, improvements, and communication when you do get hacked, what to do about it. So eventually, this is all what happens. And this is like I said, the National Institute for Standards and Technology, how they go about looking at this. Now, the best practices of cybersecurity also come from the same organization, another group at the government, CISA. And this just shows you all the different ways that you can go about doing this as well as possible. This is great stuff to read yourself. Just take the time to do this. Verify user and device. Keep software, OS, and devices updated with patches. Encrypt data in transit. Train staff to identify phishing. Deploy firewalls. Use strong, unique passwords. Real-time activity, and other standards and controls. I mean, again, this is just really important stuff for all of us to understand, and that's why this business has gotten so big. So next up, we're going to do the cybersecurity stocks, the big ones, and we're going to talk through the 4 classes of these stocks. First one, of course, is the net profit margin. I pulled out 2 for you. Here's VeriSign with a profit margin that's 50%. Net profit margin, by about 50% net profit margin. Some of these are very negative, a lot of them, but VeriSign obviously is just an incredibly strong business. And here you've got an example of a stock that went from, looks like $180 to $280 a share in the last 7 or 8 months. Just a giant whopping move higher. We do have some estimate revisions that are generally holding up for this company, but it's just crazy what a stock moment this is. So down here, I've got Rapid, ticker RBD, with a much smaller 3 net margin and much smaller profits. And of course, they are being shorted off the highs in 2022 down. This has been the story of the Fed. When they started raising rates, they just killed the small caps, took the stocks down. The other thing I want to point out, though, is the large caps are probably overpriced. I wouldn't be buying VeriSign at that level. I think it's kind of crazy. Just keep that in mind. So let's look at free cash flow. Again, ServiceNow, ticker Now, has been building free cash flow really consistently. So should you buy the stock? There's the estimate revisions showing you that nice, smooth, free cash flow. But this stock is already pricing in 2026 or 2027 earnings right now. It is a very pricey stock at this point in time. Down here, Qualys, ticker QLYS. Again, I've owned this in large cap trader at times when it's big enough, and it is another super strong picture, but the stock's gone nowhere for 4 or 5 years, other than this big run up in 2024. It hasn't gone anywhere. Total debt. I'm going to play around here with Palo Alto Networks, PANW. Where do we see that guy? Right here. Palo Alto Networks piled up a lot of debt for a while, and then they've been cutting it back the last 2 years. They were basically in an acquisition spree for a while. And again, look at that chart. Really, really strong. However, last year or so, there really hasn't been much movement at Palo Alto Networks. It's been quite a quiet and not too noticeably interesting. Down here, ticker VRNT, Verint Systems. Again, they used to build up some debt till the COVID pandemic. Now they're less. And again, shorted all the way down. These small cap names are all like this. They get shorted down when the Fed started raising rates. The large caps went up. So what's the hand to play? Small caps at the lows or large caps at the highs? It's a very good question. If the bottom's in for the small caps, it would be interesting to start playing around with the Verint Systems because, of course, they have been building quite dramatically up in their earnings for some time now. Reinvestment rate. I'm picking up Cisco here. It's a nice reinvestment rate. And I'm picking up MITM here, which is a nice reinvestment rate. And again, same story. Cisco's booming as a stock, probably fully valued, and MITM's been shorted as a stock the last 4 or 5 years. You see this over and over again. The market is not actually paying attention to business models. They're paying attention to style categories. And that is something really interesting for an investor to understand and think about, whether you want to be in small caps in these spaces or in large caps. I think the answer is once we get a turn in the overall small caps, you're going to want to look into the small caps in this space. That's what I would say. One more stop. We'll do depreciation, amortization. I've got Fortinet here, which is going to be found right here. And Verana Systems, VRNS, which is right here and doing its higher point of view. So again, Fortinet, just a classic business. Large cap, going strong for years. And then Varonis, even though the earnings estimates are so noisy, they're definitely going better. And the stock's been shorted, although it's coming off those highs of late. Again, I kind of lean a little bit forward to a view that the small caps, when they start rallying broadly, you're going to want to look into those names. And it does look to me, as a large cap trader editor, that the large cap space is pretty fully valued at this point in time. So I hope you like this. Thanks for attending. And if you'd like these slides and get more information from us, please give us a call, 866-794-6065. Or send us an email at strategycall@zackspro.com, or find us on the web at www.zackspro.com. Yes, we have a LinkedIn page at Zacks Professional Services, and yes, we're on Twitter at ZA Tools. At the end of the day, I do these YouTube videos for a reason. That is to provide you quality information for your use as investors and traders. And that means you've got to read and study this information more carefully to get an advantage. So give us a call at 866-794-6065 or send us an email at strategycall@zackspro.com. Thanks again.